Welcome to Winging It. We're playing Gloomhaven today, or Gloomhaven Digital as it is. Um, I know I normally play Arkham, but I'd always intended to do other games on this channel, and Gloomhaven specifically. Um, I played Gloomhaven through with my normal group a couple years ago, actually, before we ever played Arkham. Um, and it's always been one of my favorite games, and I had intended to make videos. It's just a little bit never had a good way of actually feeling like I had a handle on showing the physical cards. But the digital version has come out, and I've been having a blast playing it. Um, it's such a good version. Very, very true to the board game. It's got some errata that people aren't necessarily aware of from the board game, like the stamina pots have been changed and a few other things. Um, but it's very faithful to the rules of the game. It handles all of the, what people feel are complicated monster rules and movement rules and all that kind of stuff are handled. So it's really good, and I'm enjoying it. And I thought, well, hey, I could make videos this way to show off this game. I am going to, as I play through the first scenario, give a little bit overview of the rules and how it plays. It's not like an in-depth, like a 101 video, but it will be enough to people know what's going on, because I know I have a lot of my subscribers who play Arkham and maybe not aren't familiar with Gloomhaven, so I will let them kind of just have an idea of how the game actually plays. I'll be doing a full campaign, so let's get started. I'm going to be playing with let's see, we're going to start on hard. Actually, you get more gold, and I need some gold at the beginning. Um, Insane is a little bit beyond me. At least when we're starting out, you just don't have enough gear and perks and stuff. I might kick it up later. Also, hard might be too hard for me, at least on the second scenario. I might have to pull it back down to normal for a little bit, but I think I can do the first scenario on hard. And I'm pretty confident I can play this on hard um, once I get geared up. So I might be shifting this around. You can do it from mission to mission. Hard, it gives you more gold, but it also makes the enemies, the monsters, one level higher. So we're just going to call this Team Winging It. Is our guild name. Oh, I already have a team name in use. Okay, so please enter a different one. Well, let's see. Let's call this Stabby and Pokey. Okay, because we're going to be playing um, a Scoundrel and a Mindthief. Basically, two rogues, just different kind of, just different kinds of the rogue archetype. So, all right, we'll go ahead and lock this in, and we can watch the intro.
Welcome to the harsh lands of Gloomhaven, recruit. You think you have what it takes to become a mercenary out there on the edge of the world? We are paid to venture into the darkest forests of the region and to step into ancient crypts with the unmistakable stench of death and rotting flesh. Lovely places to earn a name for yourself. Be ready to face cutthroats, undead, fearsome tribes, and dreadful demons from other realms. You didn't find yourself as a mercenary without knowing how to crack a few skulls, did you?
All right, let's turn off the tutorial. And so as I said, I'm going to be playing. You have to play at least two mercenaries, even when you're playing solo. I wanted to play a Scoundrel. Uh, I like the Scoundrel. It's not really a conventional pairing to put her and a Mindthief, again, two rogue characters together, but it's just it's kind of a fun style for me. Maybe not optimal, but kind of jumping in, doing some damage, running out, hiding, that kind of stuff. It does help once they get some gear and they can get some stuff to help them hide. But anyway, this is Stabby. Now, for each one, we're gonna have to pick a life goal. This is like the reason that they're doing this. They don't do it just to murder and loot and steal. They actually have motivation. Once they finish their motivation, they are done. They retire, and you have to pick a new character, and they will unlock classes as you do this. So, a study of anatomy is experience your party members becoming exhausted 15 times. That could take a long time for this to happen, actually. Um, so own 2 of those items, 3 of those, and 4. Huh. Well, okay. Yeah. So we can kind of we could actually kind of just as we get money, we could decide when we want to retire. So that's kind of nice. And the 3 Spears class is kind of fun. So we'll do that. All right. So Stabby has joined the party. All right, and then we are going to get our Mindthief. Mindthief is my absolute favorite. It's like a rogue, but like a self-enhancing rogue. Um, and this is gonna be pokey. Just gonna run around poking things. All right. So kill 8 forest imps, then I'll walk the Forgotten Grove and follow it to a conclusion. That's kind of a storyline. You get the sun. Kill 20 bandits or cultists. Well, this one, oh, either one will do this one class. This one would be way too fast, and I actually want to play her for a while, so we're going to do this one. All right. All right, now we get to gear them up and buy some stuff. First of all, before I forget it, I want to look at their decks. I definitely want Frigid Aspiration. I'm not a big fan of the Gnawing Horde, but that move 4 in the bottom, that's a lot of movement. Movement is king. And until she has her boots, that's really good. So I'm going to keep it. And I think we'll get rid of the feedback loop. The move 4 with the jump is nice, actually. That might be better. Yeah, we'll keep the feedback loop. Move with the jump is better. All right, and we're gonna grab this Frigid Aspiration. I'll go into what the cards are and how they work. Um, well, actually, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it now, and then I don't have to talk about it in the first video. So, for every round, you will pick a card. Each mercenary will pick one card, or sorry, 2 cards that they play. And there's 3 major aspects to this card. You've got the top half, the bottom half, and then you've got the initiative. The initiative is the number in the middle. You'll pick one of those 2 cards to be your initiative, and that's how quickly you go in the round. So 29 would go kind of fast, but not super fast. 7 would go much later. 77 would go much later in the round, and something like an 8 would go very, very fast in the round. So you want to be careful when you pick your 2 cards to pick 2 cards that to pick an initiative that's where if you're around a lot of enemies, you want to go pretty fast. If you want the enemies to move first and react to what they're doing, then you want to go kind of slow. Um, so then there's the top half. So each card has a top ability, bottom ability when you actually play them. Not when you choose them, but when it's your turn, you choose one card that you're going to play the bottom half of and one card you're going to play the top half. Now every card, the top half can be, you see that little 2 with a sword next to it, and then about the middle of the card. Any top half, you can just use that ability instead of using the ability that's printed on it. Or you can use the move 2 on the bottom. Instead of the bottom. And the reason you might want to do that is because, like, see the bottom's got that little burn symbol in the lower right hand corner. Once you do that, it's removed from the game. Removing from the game gives you less actions overall because your cards are kind of like the actions that you have to take a turn. So you want to be careful. You really, unless you're playing the Spellweaver and she's different, you really want to be careful about burning cards early on. You don't want to burn your cards until sort of the end of the scenario, or unless you can get a lot of benefit about it. But for example, at the beginning, like burning a card before your first rest, which I'll go into what a rest is, will cost you like 5 turns later on in the game. Whereas if you use it, after 3 rests, it only costs you like 2 turns. So kind of matters. So anyway, so yeah, you just have to pick. You'll be picking 2 cards. You want a bottom card and a top that work together, and that's kind of how the cards work. So anyway, I'm getting rid of the Gnawing Horde. You have like basically 3 cards in your starting build that you can choose from to replace, kind of the starter cards. And yeah, so that's what we're doing here. You will earn cards as you upgrade. So. All right, so for stabby. Um, I want the swift bow, and I want the sinister opportunity. I think we'll take the sinister opportunity instead of the single out. They're both slow, and I don't think that the the scoundrel has less cards overall than most of the other classes, and so you have to be really, really careful with burns. So, I mean, that burn is really nice for that singled out, and it might be good on it gives you +2 attack buff 3 rounds if you can get things on their own. But I don't know. The sinister opportunity is going to give me a little bit more. That they tend to clump together. Our two rogue characters, so that's good. I want to take the swift bow. Um, the problem is it doesn't give me XP, so maybe I won't take it. XP are like these little star, like the little spiky numbers. They give you when you use them, you get XP. And I have a tendency to not use like a lot of XP stuff on cards I do for the Mindthief, but not for the Scoundrel. So maybe I need to adjust my playing a little bit. So, which makes me think maybe I do want single out because I could use that. I could get that. Um, so maybe we take that instead of, well, this move 5 is really good. And there's poison on top. Quick hands doesn't really give me. Okay. It gives me a nice loot though. It's hard to use because it's on the bottom. But I do want like 1 loot ability. Ah, we'll keep it this way. All right. So let's go buy some gear. Oh, so for her, because I'm really trying to maximize her damage. Oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're good. All right. Okay, it's gonna tell us all this gear we can get, but let me make the alerts go away. All right. For her, I'm gonna I really want to buy these eagle eye goggles. So during your attack, you gain advantage on the entire attack action. So you're going to be pulling modifiers out of your deck. This happens, digitally, but it's still something that the game mimics. When you use these goggles, or when you have advantage some other way, you get to draw 2 cards, and then you just pull one, and you pick one. So it's having advantage is really good. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll go ahead and equip it. It goes in our head slot. It's a really expensive item, but it's good. The other thing is about items. I'll just talk about this. It has the little like kind of turn it on its side symbol. It's kind of like exhausting or tapping or whatever you want to call it in your games. Once you rest, which you do basically when you run out of cards, you'll burn one of your discarded cards and then get all your cards back. If you do a long rest, then you get 2 health and you get to refresh your items that are exhausted like that. Now there are items like this bow here. It has an X on it. Then you remove it from the game. So it's a one use, one shot. The goggles are better because you can refresh them. Okay, and then let's grab Miss Pokey. I'm going to, because she only has 6 health, I'm going to go ahead and get this iron helmet. When when get attacked, consider any X2 modifier that's like a crit, basically. The enemy draws a 0 instead, so she can definitely survive a lot more. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And then I want to give her a poison dagger. This is a refreshable item that goes in her hand slot, and she can add poison. When something is poisoned, they just take an extra damage. Really good when you have to deal with shielded items. So all right, so we'll buy this shielded enemies. All right, so the head item is our iron helmet. The hand item is our poison dagger, and yeah, let's okay. So encounters. There's city encounters. There's road encounters. They are events that happen, and they will positively or negatively affect you. They tend to be mostly positive in the city, but they can sometimes be negative. On the road, they tend to be about 50-50. So often you can start with some problem in your first scenario. So here we go. All right, city encounter. You are attending to business in the sinking market when a frail, white-haired woman approaches you and grabs you by the arm. Oh my, don't you lot look strong, she says. Can you possibly assist me with a small problem I am having in my cellar? Her eyes grow narrow. Rats. So many rats. I don't know where they're coming from, but they are a right nuisance. Ruined 3 jars of preserves just yesterday. She tugs weakly at your sleeve. Please, can you help me? We'll agree to help her with her rat infestation because we have a mind thief, and the mind thieves are good with rats. Oh, we get 2 gold each. You smile broadly and ask the woman to lead you to her house. It's a ramshackle dwelling, half sunk in the muddy foundation, and inside there are certainly a lot of rats. You kill as many as you can, but in her cellar you find a large hole leading to a section of the sewer that recently collapsed, leaving the pests with nowhere else to go. The woman thanks you for at least helping her to be able to sleep at night and hands you a few coins. Alright, so we got 2 coins, gold coins. That's actually pretty good. Gold right off the beginning is going to be really important for us. Alright, so let's go ahead and go out to the Black Barrow.
Everyone needs to eat. Whatever your reason for coming to Gloomhaven, out here on the edge of the world, that simple fact is never going to change. A mercenary can't fight on an empty stomach. So when Jexera, a Valrath woman wearing a red cloak and enough gold jewelry to keep you fed for a decade, approaches you in the Sleeping Lion and offers to pay you 10 gold coins to track down a thief and retrieve some stolen goods, well, seems like as good an excuse as any to sober up and start paying off your tab. This thief has taken some important documents, says the red-skinned merchant, her tail whipping about in agitation. I don't care what you do to him. Just bring back what is mine. Based on Jexera's description, it was easy enough to knock around a few alley thugs and get a location of the thieves' hideout. You don't find yourself as a mercenary way out in Gloomhaven without knowing how to crack a few skulls. So your target is the Black Barrow. Sounds like a lovely place.
I really like the voiceovers in this. I was surprised they actually had full voice acting for those. You're far off the main road when you see a small band of Inox approaching from the west. You try to divert your path to go around them, but they are moving directly in your path. In a few minutes' time, they overtake you. You've wandered into our territory, travelers, the biggest one says. We don't much like visitors. You stare at her blankly. Such acts can be forgiven, but it will cost you. Okay, you can try to reason, or you can fight off the Inox. They'll get no payments from you. We'll try to reason with them. Okay, well, we lose all our gold that we took. But fighting would probably end us with damage, so okay. Easy come, easy go. But at least we spent all our gold at the beginning, so we didn't have much to lose.
The hill is easy enough to find. A short journey past the new market gate, and you see it jutting out on the edge of the corpse wood, looking like a rat under a rug. Moving closer, you see the mound is formed from a black earth. Its small, overgrown entrance presents a worn set of stone stairs leading down into the darkness. As you descend, you gratefully notice light emanating from below. Unfortunately, the light is accompanied by the unmistakable stench of death. You contemplate what kind of thieves would make their camp in such a horrid place as you reach the bottom of the steps. Here, you find your answer. A rough group of cutthroats who don't seem to have taken very kindly to your sudden appearance. One in the back matches the description of your quarry.
All right, and we'll end it there, just so I can have a clean start of the new scenario for people who want to watch the Black Barrow. So I will see you next time on Winging It.